thanks to EA for sponsoring this video. Hey guys, welcome back to another part of my 30 days of Halloween. Create sims, making sims every day for Halloween. I still have yet to nail it, and we're literally on the 4th one. There's only 2 more left, so I feel like this is getting embarrassing. But anyway, so today we're making 5 more of my Halloween sims. If you haven't seen the rest, basically for the every day of October, I'm going to be making a different spooky sim based on a prompt that I've got in the description down below, which I made myself, which they're not that interested, honestly. It's more about the creativity, you know? It's like, listen, you just gotta go with it. But anyway, so today, yeah, we are gonna be making days 16 to 20. So we are gonna be making a scarecrow sim for day 16, a Sudaku, aka Samara from The Ring, but we're going more based on the original Ringu for day 17. We'll get onto that in a minute. For day 18, we are doing a mummy inspired sim. For day 19, we are doing a cenobite inspired sim, aka Hellraiser vibes. And finally for day 20, we're doing the Joker inspired sim. So basically we have a lot of inspired sims today because it's kind of a few more like movie inspiration things. But yeah, so I'm actually filming this on the day it's going out, or at least it should be going out today, hopefully, because I haven't had a chance to like film at all because basically I got really ill. I've got a cold. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but like I got ill a few days ago and it's been pretty miserable. I've had like a week of like being dead basically, because when I have a cold, like it is everyone's problem. It is the end of the world. Genuinely, it's apocalyptic. We are in the depths. We are in the trenches. It's horrible. I'm miserable. I'm having a horrific time. No matter what, I always just hate colds so much. I have such bad sensory issues with them, and like whenever blocked nose, I just want to die. So it's like really not fun. I'm getting over it a little bit now. I'm getting a little bit better. I feel like I don't sound quite as bad. I didn't want to film when I was like actually literally like, hey guys, like that's how I would have sounded. It wouldn't have been the vibe. It wouldn't have been the vibe. It would have been very nasally and not the energy. So I wanted to make sure I got a little bit better before I did that. And this is the last possible day that I can film this before it's got to go out. But yeah, I got ill. And then on Saturday, I went to my horror convention, which I was saying about, for the love of horror in Manchester. It was so much fun. I get to meet Devin Soa, who I still don't know how to pronounce his last name. And even though I've looked it up, I still don't know how to pronounce it. But I met him from Final Station, and there was like a Ghostface cosplayer that took a photo with, and like I don't know, I had a lot of fun. I ended up spending like a lot of money, and I did buy a few good things, which I don't know if you saw on my Instagram, but I posted them on there. But basically, yeah, it was like very hectic because like I've just been like out, and like I don't know, it was a very stressful time. Obviously I had a cold on top of that, and I also got my period on that same day. Like, are you even joking me? Does the universe hate me? Like, I get we're going to like a horror convention, blood is fun, but not in that sense. Okay, that is a very different sense. But anyways, quick reminder that I do have a credit code, so if you plan on buying anything on the EA app or thesims.com, you can use my code itsqwertyluvs to checkout. It's a super simple, free and easy thing for you guys to do. So if you are planning on buying any packs, I really do appreciate if you guys use my code. It really helps support me and my channel, so thank you guys so much. So we're starting off today with the scarecrow sim. So I actually made the sim low-key like 2 weeks ago. This was before I actually got ill. Like, this was just the peak, just right before the cold hit. Okay, this was before the storm. Okay, I made this sim. I love how she turned out. Honestly, I would say actually out of all of these, this is my favorite sim. I will say, and I'll say it now, I'll put my hands up in the air, these aren't my best. These aren't my best work. I feel like I didn't thrive as much because I physically wasn't thriving. Like the other sims that I made, the 4 other sims in this video, they're okay, you know, they're not my best work, they're not the greatest, because I literally just like, I was struggling. Like I literally was like ready to be sick most of the time when I was making these sims because I had a really bad headache on top of it, and it was just a whole thing. So I just wasn't really like vibing with making them that much. So I feel like they're maybe a little bit rushed and just not really as good as the other one. So I do apologize about that, but hopefully the next set will be better because, you know, we're getting to the actual spooky vibes and it's actually getting closer to Halloween. And I feel like all of a sudden it's closer to Halloween, even though this month's gone really slow. I feel like suddenly, all of a sudden I'm like, oh no, it's Halloween in like a week from now. And I'm like, what do you mean? It's in a week from now. It's not actually, it's like 2 weeks, but it feels like it's a week from now. Anyways, but yeah, so point being, scarecrow sim. So I really want to make like a creepy, well, obviously all of these sims are very creepy. I'm trying to make them as creepy as possible. Like that's the whole energy. But of course I wanted to go creepy. Feel like every single time I'm making the sim creepier and creepier and creepier. Again, I have used that dirt overlay on most of these sims. Don't even judge me. Okay, don't even judge me. It's the only option I've got to make the sim look like, you know, nice and disgusting. So therefore I have to keep using it on the sims, unfortunately. But I think it looks really cool anyways. And yeah, basically I went for this really, really cool outfit. I managed to get a crow because I've had this in my game for so long, and I think I've used it before like once, but I was like, this is perfect timing. Like I remembered I had it. I was like, I gotta use that crow because like literally she has a crow coming towards her, which technically is actually the opposite of what a scarecrow is meant to do. It's literally in the name, scarecrow. You know, it's kind of, it's right there. You know what I mean? Like you kind of know what they're meant to be built for. But I wanted to just make her really creepy and have a crow there because I thought it'd be fun. And to be fair, I feel like you see scarecrows with crows on top of them. Like you see them like sat on top of a crow. I mean, no, the other way around. You don't see a scarecrow sat on top of a crow. That would be a dead crow probably. But you see crows sat on top of scarecrows all the time, which I just think is quite ironic. But yeah, it was kind of giving me like Scary Stories Tell in the Dark kind of vibes. If you guys have watched that film, it's really good. And I was kind of channeling that. I liked the idea that in that one of the stories is that like this guy gets turned into a scarecrow. I actually hate the idea of that. That's like actually like horrible because he has like hail coming out of his mouth and his eyes, and it's actually like disturbing. But if you take it from a non-disturbing point, it's actually really fun. And I like the idea that like she's trapped inside the scarecrow body, which again is disturbing disturbing and would actually genuinely be worst nightmare material, but simultaneously it is The Sims, so I don't really care that much. Like, we're just gonna live with it. She's just gotta live like that, you know what I mean? But I really like the idea of that. Like, she has like her eyes stitched shut and like her mouth stitched shut because like she's trying to escape, and they're like, no, get back in your scarecrow body, you fiend. You know, that's kind of the energy I was going for. And I really like the outfit as well. I was really going for like on a farm kind of energy, which I personally have never really lived on a farm, so I don't really know what that's like, but I kind of imagine it being something like this. But yeah. So anyways, now we're moving on to the next Sims. This is day 17. So we are gonna be making, okay, here's the thing. I know this is like the worst thing ever, but I've only ever seen the American remake of The Ring, the, you know, the 2004 one, I think it is, whatever. You know, back in the day, you know, the one with the woman, you know, I can't think of her name, but like the one with the actress or whatever, you know, the American remake of The Ring. That's the only version I've ever seen with Samara. And so I've never seen the original, which is called, I think it's called Ringu, or at least I've seen it called Ringu, but like it's because obviously it's like translated. I've never seen the actual original. So unfortunately, I don't really have anything to go off of with the original, but I know that in the original, it's not actually a child that comes out of the well. So in the like American remake, obviously she's called Samara and she like comes out of the well and she's a child. And that's the whole point of the story, is like, you know, she wants a mom or whatever. But then in the original, she's actually like a 19 or 20-year-old. So I went for that version instead because obviously I don't really make children's Sims and I wanted to make like a more of an adult Sim. She does look pretty young, I would say. I feel like I kind of tried to make her look kind of like a teen, which she is meant to be. And yeah, like I didn't like Google much into it about the original. I'm assuming it's a pretty similar plot, so I kind of just went for it. I've heard that like it's one of the only occasions where the remake's actually better. Now, I don't know if that's actually true because again, I've never seen it. Again, I've never got around to it. I don't know. I feel like I don't like watching remakes and originals. I'd rather just watch one or the other because like, why am I going to watch both? You know what I mean? And I just started on the remake, so I'm just not going to watch the original, which I know is really terrible, but like, I don't want to watch the same story twice. Like, it's just not, I don't want to do that, even though I rewatch films literally every day. But that's a whole different story. That's a whole different story. Ironically, not a whole different story. It's actually the same story. So yeah. Anyways, so yeah, point being, so I wanted to make the original version of her. So she's called, I think, Sadaku, but I'm so sorry if I got that completely wrong. I probably pronounced it completely wrong. I did Google the pronunciation beforehand, but of course I've forgotten it now. So I am an idiot with pronunciation, so I do apologize about that. But yeah, her iconic thing, if you don't know anything about The Ring, I feel like you would at least know her hair, right? And the fact that it's like you have 7 days to live, you know, after you've heard like the tape or whatever, like watch the tape. So I wanted to go for obviously the long hair, but I didn't have any that were like really like long and like forward, like over their face, because that was obviously like the main part of her. Like that's like her main character design, and then like the white sort of dress kind of robe thing. I don't know what it is. I kind of forgot. Honestly, I only rewatched The Ring a few months ago, and yeah, I've literally forgotten. I watch a lot of films, guys. I forget. I'm sorry. Basically, I wanted to go for, you know, that kind of vibe, but I was kind of making her, and I was like, I'm bored. I don't like it. She's boring. She's boring me. I'm not enjoying it. I'm not enjoying the vibe. I feel like she's just too simple. Like she's just not what I wanted to go for. And then I clicked on this thing, right? It like made her have like planty sort of fungus kind of like things, growths on her, I guess. And even though it did make her eyes white, which really annoyed me, but I managed to fix that. But I was like, that's kind of sick, because I like the idea that, because it's like an inspiration, as I've been doing with all the others with horror icons, I didn't want to just make her as a Sim. Like, that's just not fun. So instead, I was trying to kind of come up with the idea that, you know, she's been at the bottom of this well and she's also dead. So maybe like her body decayed and then like got like fungus growing into it and kind of like plants, and then like she kind of become this like weird fungus thing. And I don't know, I thought it looked really cool. So I just went with it. I know it's a little bit stupid, but I was ill, and in my defense, a little bit delirious, but like it was just kind of fun, you know? And I was just kind of like enjoying doing something a little bit different because it wasn't hitting in the beginning. I just wasn't feeling how she was looking. I felt like she was just looking too boring and everything was just like bland. I don't know. I just wasn't really vibing with it. I kept trying to make her look like moist because obviously the whole thing is she's in a well. So she's going to be a little bit damp, you know, which is horrible when you think about it. Having to live in a damp well, that's just not, it's not really the vibe, you know, but like, you know, that's her life, unfortunately. I mean, she's dead, so it's actually her dead life. But yeah, I just like the idea of making it look like damp. But again, I just didn't really have that much CC for that. So I tried to make it look like shiny. So it's kind of like that, but then it's just like she was kind of sweaty. So she's kind of a sweaty Samara. I don't know. It just sort of happened. But yeah, but anyways, I'm going to talk about some of the films I've been watching in between this part and the last part, because there's been quite a few, but simultaneously I've actually been missing a few, which is really devastating because we just haven't had a chance, because obviously I went to the convention, got back really late, didn't have a chance that night. Then like the other night I was like really ill and like I just physically couldn't watch anything, so I just haven't really had a chance to watch stuff. But we watched Wreck after the last video. So Wreck is literally one of my favorite films of all time. It is like an incredible film, and it's literally in my Letterboxd top 4, which means business. That means business, you know what I mean? I think it's such a good film. It's only like 70 minutes as well, which I always forget. Such a short film, and it's like incredible. It's basically an apartment building. It's found footage. It's an apartment building, and she goes there with these firefighters, and then when she gets there, she's like filming everything because it's meant to be for like the news thing. But when she actually gets there, it turns out there's like some sort of possession, kind of infection kind of scenario. It's kind of more possession, but it sort of, to me, leans a little bit zombie, but it's not, but it kind of leans a little bit that way. Yeah, it's like such a good film, and like so like fast paced as well. Like you literally don't have time to breathe, and I just love that. So I really love Wreck. And then we watched The Sadness, which is one I've talked about in the video, I think one of the past videos I talked about it, which is a zombie kind of infected film, basically, like, me and my dad watched it a few years ago, right? And then I showed it to my friend, and then I showed it to my other friends, and then I showed it to someone else. And like, I just keep showing it to people because like, it's such like a crazy film that I feel like it's just so perfect to watch with like a group of people or like new people, because I just love seeing their reaction. But please look up trigger warnings. If you don't know what the sadness is, please look up trigger warnings for it, because it has so many trigger warnings. It's like a bad film. Like, no, it's not a bad film. That's actually a lie. It's actually a well-made film, but it's like so disturbing. Every time I watch it, it kind of like gets worse, because it's one of those things where like the tension in the beginning is so incredible. But now I've watched it like 4 times. Like, of course, the 4th rewatch isn't going to be as intense as it the first time, but the first time I genuinely think I was having heart palpitations. It's actually the most stressful film ever. Clearly, I'm just enjoying watching stressful films lately. But yeah, basically they get infected. It's basically an apocalypse, but instead of being, you know, just zombies and like biting people, they become like torturous and a lot of other things which need trigger warnings, and just not good people, let's just say that. And I think it's really interesting, but also really disturbing and really fun. So not fun in a context of a film, it's fun. Anyways, then we watched Gonjiam Haunted Asylum, which is another found footage. Clearly we've been on the found footage. Actually, I've just realized, yeah, the next 3 films are all found footage. That is my bad. But I just love found footage. I just do. It's my favorite genre. But we watched Gonjiam Haunted Asylum, which, I mean, to be fair, it's kind of like really boring. Like, when I rewatched it, I was kind of like, okay, the first like hour and 20 is like really boring, but when it gets to like the last 20 minutes, it's really, really good and really creepy in my opinion. So it's like a really good found footage. Then we watched Spree, which I haven't seen since it came out back in like 2020, which obviously is with Joe Keery from Stranger Things. And like, it's just such a random like film. I don't know. I quite like it. It's like fun. It's like fun. It's like entertaining, but it's not like scary, but it's like fun. And then we watched Grave Encounters, rewatched that because I love Grave Encounters. Really good film as well. Also one of my favorite found footage films, because someone was talking about it in the comments of the last video, I think it was. And I was like, yes, Grave Encounters. I've literally been meaning to rewatch that anyways. So I rewatched that. Really scary. My friend really liked that as well. Oh, actually, and then on that same day, I actually watched The Black Phone 2, which I didn't like. Pretty disappointed in that, because I quite liked the first one, but I didn't like the second one. I found it very boring, and I felt like it could have been an email. Like, it was like so the same, even though it's not the same story as the first one, it just was so disappointing to me. I just didn't really like it. So sorry if you liked The Black Phone 2, but obviously just came out. And yeah, anyways, that is all the ones we've been watching. Again, we have been slacking quite a bit. We need to watch one tonight because we've been really getting behind on these, because we're trying to watch a horror film every day for the month, but we just haven't had a chance. But anyways, yes, that's all the horror films we've been watching. Let me know if you guys have been watching anything interesting in the comments down below. I'm loving seeing your recommendations. There's actually some films that I haven't heard of before, or that I've been meaning to watch, that has reminded me to watch them. So thank you for that. I've been putting them on my watch list, ready to watch them. So yeah, so now I'm doing the mummy sim. As I've been yapping, we've been making the mummy sim. So I don't really know much about mummies. I know there's the film The Mummy, which I haven't watched since I was like 10, so I don't really remember anything about that. And other than that, I don't really know anything about mummies. Like, it's not my forte history wise. I'm not big in history. Okay, I did do history, but then I dropped out of school, so it didn't really count. You know what I mean? It didn't really count. I didn't really do my GCSEs on it or anything. So I'm not big into history. I'm not very good at it. Don't really know anything about mummies or anything like that. So this is not accurate. This is not going to be an accurate mummy in any sense. And I also struggled a lot because I really wanted to do like a different outfit, but this was literally the only mummy CC I could find. Don't get me wrong, it's really cool and I've had it in my game for ages and I haven't been to use it, but because it's like a full body outfit, I was kind of like, it's kind of boring. Like, I wanted to do something, you know, I like making my own outfits. I just find that more fun, but unfortunately this was literally all I could get. Again, it is really cool, but like, it was just a little bit disappointed that I couldn't do more. However, I feel like I did more with the rest of the sim, so I went for no eyeballs, which I think looks really, really cool, I think. I don't see eye, sorry. Yeah, but yeah. I think it looks really cool. I really like it. And then I went for no teeth as well, which technically I don't think makes any sense because skeletons do have teeth, but I figured if you've been a mummy this long, you probably won't have teeth. I don't know if that's how it works. Again, please do not take any of this. Like, I don't know anything. I don't know anything about how it works, how mummies work. I don't know anything, but I thought it looked really cool. And I really, really liked how it looked with like the slight smile. I feel like she looks really creepy and I really liked it. And then this hair is absolutely stunning. I wish, like, if I was a mummy, this is like, that would be a banging hairstyle to have as a mummy. Like, that much effort putting in, it's crazy. But yeah, and then I went for like this like skull staff thing, which I have actually used, I think, in this series so far. But again, I am kind of getting to the point where I'm having to reuse stuff because I only have so much like spooky like CC, and I keep trying to download more stuff, but like half of it's either like been deleted or it's like some scam website, and like I just can't, like, there's no more CC, guys. Like, I'm trying to download more horror stuff, but not many people make this kind of stuff, so it's kind of like a very specific niche that like just isn't that popular, that I guess. So like, I'm just not seeing much other CC, and so therefore I'm just having to reuse stuff, which is pretty sad, but like, it's just how it has to be, unfortunately. But yeah, I really, really love how she turned out. I think that the outfit did look really cool, and I actually put a corset on with it, which I know is stupid. Okay, I don't know if they had when were mummies? I actually don't know. I genuinely don't even know. I'm actually gonna be so serious. I actually don't know. I don't know history like any further than like the 30s, and I don't know anything. Like, I'm actually terrible with it, and I don't claim to be good. Like, I genuinely don't claim to know anything about history because I would love to, and I think it's really interesting. I just, unfortunately, again, school dropped out, guys. It was a very It was a very rough time. I wasn't focused on what happened with the mummies. Plus, they never even taught us any of that stuff, okay? Like, what do they even teach us that? You know what it was about? It was always about the plague. Everything in history. Oh, what is it? The plague. Oh, what's that? What are we gonna learn about today? The plague. I get it. But to be honest, I don't even know when the plague was. That's literally that's how far away school knowledge has gone from my brain now. It's been what, like 6 years since I've been at school. I'm actually gonna cry. 6 years? You joking me? You joking me? That's a long time. Yeah, 6 years since I've been at school, and I don't remember anything. So yeah, point being, moral of the story, I don't know anything about mummies, but I think she looked cool, and I think they turned out really cool. And I made her like really grubby and stuff because obviously like she's, you know, dead. So I kind of imagine that's her kind of part of the thing. And I did go ahead and download like some mummy CC that I like only little bits that I could find as well. So I added this like skin detail on top after I did that, and I think it looks really, really cool. But yeah, now we're moving on to the day 19 sim. So this is a cenobite inspired sim. So if you don't know what cenobite is, they are from Hellraiser. Now I don't actually like Hellraiser. Like, it's okay. To me, it's like Nightmare on Elm Street, although I would actually say I prefer Hellraiser to Nightmare on Elm Street. But I've just never gotten into Hellraiser. I liked this is gonna like sound like terrible, but I've only seen the first one and then like the newest one, which was from like 2020 something. And I actually really liked the new one. I liked the original as well. I haven't seen it in a while, but to me, Hellraiser's just never my favorite like franchise, unfortunately, even though there's like a million of them. Again, as always with these horror franchises, but like I've just never sat through them all. Again, I think I've only ever seen the first one and then that remake one. I don't know if it's a remake, but like it was pretty good. It was okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just not that big into Hellraiser stuff. Like, I think it's really cool and I love the designs, but I think like film-wise, they're just not my cup of tea. But at the same time, again, like I said, the designs are sick. And so cenobites are basically, I don't know exactly what they are, so I'm not gonna like try and say, because I feel like if I get it wrong, you know, someone who's like a really big Hellraiser fan is gonna be like, actually, and I'm gonna like, I'm sorry, okay, I just don't know anything. They're not demons, but they're sort of demons, and they basically like come back to Earth to like kill people in like ways. I don't know, I can't remember actually. All I remember is obviously Pinhead, the iconic one, and he obviously has his little box, and he like, you know, does his little box things, and then they die. But it's like more to it than that. If you've not seen Hellraiser, I'm not explaining it very well, I'm very sorry. They have really cool designs basically, and I've only really seen Pinhead, I think, because I've only seen like the first one and then the newest one, but there is like a load of cenobites throughout the films that I looked up, and they're such sick designs. So I wanted to make kind of my own cenobite, so I didn't want to make like Pinhead or just, you know, one of them, because I feel like that's kind of boring. So I kind of made my own. Now, is this anything like a cenobite would look like? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. But from what I was looking at, they wear a lot of leather. They're normally bald, or they have very small amounts of hair. They have some funky chain business going on, and that's kind of it. That's kind of what I gather from cenobites, and therefore that's what I did. And I feel like, despite my lack of knowledge, I feel like I did really well. I actually really like how they turned out. I think that they're like one of the coolest sims. I would say that this one and the scarecrow sim are my favorites from this video. I think that they turned out sick, and I gave them like this massive like sort of alien tail. I don't know, again, I can't recall exactly how like mystical they are, if that makes any sense. Like, I know that obviously Pinhead has all the pins in his head, hence the name, but like I don't know how it works with like whether they can have like things like tails and stuff. Again, I haven't seen them all, so I don't really know, but I thought it was pretty cool, and it was fun making my own like cenobite and just going kind of crazy and just adding like loads and loads of stuff, because I just love doing that. It's like my favorite, those are my favorite kind of sims to make, is when I can just like add like everything. Like I don't have to like limit myself. I can just add as much CC as I want and it looks cool. Like, that's my favorite kind of sim. So I feel like they turned out pretty cool, and I did try and go for like a Pinhead look with like the contacts, because Pinhead has like big eyes, but not like fully black eyes. It's like mostly big like pupil. You'll see, you can see what I mean. But I think they look pretty cool. And scary. And I gave them like these teeth that are like outside of their face that I thought was really creepy. Again, like the leather was definitely a main thing. The thing with the cenobites is I feel like they're meant to be like sexy. Like, I don't know if that's just a me thing. Maybe I'm just seeing things, but like especially the female ones like that I saw when I was looking it up, like they're meant to be like sexy. So I kind of went down that route as well, because like, listen, I can't deny it. Like, if that's how they're meant to look, that's how they're meant to look. Like with the leather and everything, I feel like it's very much that energy. So I went for it. So yeah, I tried to do my best, even though they are a little bit creepy. I did give them they them pronouns, because I feel like cenobites are kind of just like non-gendered. I don't know if that's actually true. I don't think it is. Again, there's like the female cenobites, but like to me, this is a non-binary one. Maybe there's a non-binary one out there. I don't know. But yeah, I do want to get into Hellraiser. I don't know. I like the concept. I just never get into it. It's like I said, it's like the same with Nightmare on Elm Street. It's like, I like the concept. I just don't really like the films that much. Okay, and another one, Terrifier. I really don't like Terrifier films. I think that they're like, I feel like everyone would think that I would love them. My dad like adores them. Like, he met like Lauren, whatever her name is. I can't remember what her name is, sorry. You know, the girl from Terrifier 2 and 3 at the horror con we went to. He loves Terrifier. He has like an Art the Clown tattoo. And I'm here like, I don't actually like Terrifier. I don't know what it is. I just like, I find that the films are like so crap, and like not in a good way. But the annoying thing is I love Art the Clown. I think he's incredible. I think he's such a cool design, and I love him as an actual character. I just don't like the films. And I feel like that's the same with like Pinhead and also also Freddy, is like, I love the characters, I just don't love the films that they're in. I don't know if that's just like a me thing, but like Art the Clown is a sick design, and I would like love to like make a sim inspired by him. But then I feel like everyone's gonna be like, well, actually you're a fake fan if you don't even like Terrifier. And I'm gonna be like, listen, I love gore, I love like that kind of movie normally, I just don't like Terrifier films. In fact, the first one I've actually, it's like one of the only films I've ever actually given a half star to on Letterboxd, because I just hate it that much. But the second one and the third one are a little bit better, but the first one just, oh my god, the acting, I can't even, I'm sorry, I just can't. But anyways, so now we're finally moving on to the Joker sim. So this one was a little bit difficult because I didn't know if I wanted to go inspired by the like older Joker, or if I wanted to go inspired by like the new Joker, like the Joaquin Phoenix, or if I wanted to go by like Heath Ledger. But I ended up kind of mixing the two together, and I feel like I kind of went for more of the Heath Ledger one, but with the makeup of the Joaquin Phoenix's one, because I actually love the Joker, like the film The Joker. Like I love that film, I think it's so good. And I remember just, I mean, to be fair, I haven't seen it in a few years, but I remember just loving it when I watched it, and I think it's like such a good, like interesting film. So I wanted to go inspired by that in a way, but then simultaneously I prefer the outfit colors on the original Joker, because I feel like that's more, well, not the original, there's a million Jokers, guys. I'm not going based off the Suicide Squad one, that's for sure. I didn't know which one to go based off, but I pretty much went based off the Heath Ledger one because I really like the outfit colors, and I feel like the purple and green is just the most iconic. Don't get me wrong, I prefer orange and yellow that the Joaquin Phoenix one has, but I feel like it's more fitting to go with the green and purple because I feel like that's like literally the colors. Although it's kind of leaning a bit Hulk, okay? It's a little bit of both, but I tried to go for Joker. But I was struggling the most with this sim out of all of them because I just didn't know what to do. I just could not figure out what kind of outfit I wanted to go for. I wanted some sort of like jacket because obviously that's like a very big part of like his outfit. But then simultaneously I just like didn't like any of the jackets, and none of them were coming in purple because what kind of jacket comes in purple? It was so like difficult to find one. So I ended up going with this one instead, and I feel like once I put this jacket on that you can see in a minute, it like really comes together because it's the proper color, and I feel like it works really well. And as I said, I did go for like the more Joaquin Phoenix inspired makeup, not intentionally, but it was because it was the only version of this clown makeup that I had that looked similar to any of the Joker versions. I think I could have downloaded like a, you know, a proper like Joker makeup, but I just used whatever clown CC I had, and I figured I already had enough, which I did because this one looks pretty similar, and I think it looks really cool, and I made this sim look super cool, and I feel like quite creepy as well. Again, obviously I went for the smile because, you know, he literally has his like, you know, sides of his cheek cut. I feel like you kind of need to have the smile in there, you know. And I obviously went for like the green hair, but I didn't want to go for one that was like too similar to like the original. I kind of feel like I went for like a more sexy Joker, which wasn't intentional. I feel like some of these sims are like meant to be like cosplays, and some of them are meant to be like, this is the Joker. This one isn't the Joker. Like, I don't know if he would wear this, I don't know. Although I feel like this sim and Harley Quinn would get along really well, so maybe they would wear it. Maybe the Joker would wear this, I don't know. But I just like the idea of like kind of going for a little bit of like a more of like an actual like Halloween costume version, because it was just more fun doing it that way, and I just like had a lot more fun making it like this rather than just like a blazer and like a suit. Like I just felt like that's not very fun, you know what I mean? And I also went for these like teeth that were like very yellow and like very, you know, you can see what they're like, because I didn't realize that the original Joker, or not the original, the Heath Ledger Joker actually has like proper yellow teeth. I didn't notice that before, I guess. So I thought that that was like pretty fun adding that in. And I also went for some purple highlights through the hair because I don't know, I just thought it was kind of fun. Like I feel like it was kind of tying it in with the purple and the whole outfit, and I really liked it. And I feel like if I was this person, I would totally do that. And I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's like the vibe that I was trying to go for. But yeah, I think the outfit turned out pretty cool. I feel like the Joker would wear this, but simultaneously I don't really know much about the Joker. Like I don't know, I've seen like the Dark Knight and everything obviously, but when I was like a lot younger, so I don't really remember them at all. So I don't really know much about the Joker, and I don't really have like much of a connection to the Joker, but I still think that actually turned out pretty cool nonetheless. But yeah, anyways guys, that is all of the sims we were making today. So I hope you guys like them, and let me know which is your favorite in the comments down below from this group. I think mine's either the Cenobite sim or the Scarecrow sim, but I mean, I feel like I did okay with some of the others. I don't know, I feel like it wasn't my strongest episode, I'll be real, I'm sorry. Also with the CC list, I just want to update you guys, I will be doing the CC list at some point, I promise, for all the other videos, but again, I just have not had a chance. If I'm here, I'm like editing and filming, and I don't want to be like focused on the CC list, so I will get around to doing the other ones. It's just not happened yet, it's just not happened, I'm sorry, but I will, I promise. But yeah, so anyways guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know if you guys are excited for the next part of this, which will be happening in 5 days, hopefully. So remember to like, comment, subscribe, do what you want, and see you guys in the video. I love you guys. Bye. Ooh. They're kind of sorry.